Yeah, buddy. Oh, we got a lot to discuss. Yes, we do. All right. This here is set up for now. I just got to kick back for a minute and see who shows up. Skeletor, Kenworth Rider, what's going on, buddy? Skeletor, yeah, I'm home. Gregory, getting ready? Yes. I already got the new simulator downloaded. Um, I bought a whole new PC unit. I got top of the line, top drawer, i9 9900K processor, NVIDIA 2080 Super graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM. I'm good to go. Hello, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. So, I'm glad that a lot of my regulars are coming in right now because we are going to make some major changes to this channel. Digital storm computer? Yeah, pretty much. This is like NASA type shit. But, you guys can't see it. That's the PC right here. So, again, it's got an i9 9900K, NVIDIA 2080 Super graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM. I'm good to go. So now, I did download the new Microsoft Flight Simulator, and just doing some practice runs with it just to see, because typically when these new flight simulators come out, you're dealing with the stock planes. You know, you don't have any what they would call aftermarket planes. So, not everything works on them. And I wanted to see how bad they really were. And it turns out they're pretty bad. But the simulator itself, it's top drawer. I mean, to be that detailed. I mean, I even took up a little Cessna and flew out of the airport by here. And the detail from like where I grew up is unreal. I mean, it's everything is there. It's they did they did a hell of a job on that simulator. I got to order that online. Yeah, it's you can either get it right from Microsoft or right off of Steam. I got mine right off of Steam. I ended up doing the premium edition, so I got everything that came with it. I got it all. But Skeletor says I haven't seen any truck videos. Yeah, my last truck video that's on the channel is going to be my last one. Um, this channel's going to do a complete 180. There's going to be some major changes. We got a lot to discuss tonight, so stick around. I mean, if you guys are in bed, take me with you. We got a lot to discuss. Shit's hitting the fan today. But not only, I mean, I know right now you guys are looking at this one monitor like, what the hell? You got this beast machine and you got this. But wait, there's more. Trucker Al always has more. So I also bought 3 30-inch super wide curved computer monitors at 85 hertz. There's 3 of these bad boys. And we're setting these up tonight. Right here, live. Gregory says I got FSX. Oh, Flight Simulator X? Yeah, put that away. Put that FSX away. Get the new one that's out. Big difference. Kendall, what's going on, buddy? Boy, are you in for a show tonight? Let me see if I could set this up a little differently. I'm making coffee. Who wants some? Yeah, see, April knows. So let's get Crete out of the way. We're gonna have this conversation. Hopefully my iPad stays there. So what happened at Crete? Well, a lot has happened at Crete. So I know the last you guys heard. Let me see if I can kill two birds with one stone. So the last that you guys heard was that the CEO had contacted me and that, you know, we made a deal and that I was going to go back to Crete, which happened, obviously. So what had happened was I went out the first round. I was out for 3-4 weeks, whatever it was. And I found myself having to fight for the loads. So they kept giving me these, you know, 250, 300 mile runs. And I'm doing a lot of what we call finished T-call loads. So in other words, these loads came from somewhere else in the country. Another driver brought them, dropped them into a drop yard, and then when it was time, I was going to pick up these trailers from the drop yard and finish the load to the receiver when it was scheduled for delivery. And there's only anywhere from 150 to 300 miles left on the run. So I'm doing all these short hops, and I called in and I'm, you know, discussing my concerns with them. I'm not getting any mileage at all. I mean, if I'm doing 200-300 miles a day, that's nothing. That's not even worth me being out on the road. So we, at the time, they finally sent me a load going out to Washington State, which that was when I made the video for Zoe, my last trucking video. And turned around, Washington came right back, and then I ended up coming home, and April came out with me on the next run. The thing that I started to notice, I don't know if it was just this truck in particular, but Freightliner has the nickname Freight Shaker. They don't handle the roads very well. Well, I started to notice in my wrist, right in the top of my wrist, anytime I open up my hand, I get a tendon that pops in my hand. It shoots through my wrist and goes right up my arm into my elbow. So I just figured, you know, old age is setting in, whatever. Didn't think much of it. And what started happening was my wrist and my lower back, by the time I got done driving, I was hurting. I was in so much pain. And I couldn't figure out why. So I even bought a wrist, well, April ended up wrapping it. You know, we put an icy hot patch on, we wrapped it in, whatever those wraps are called. Ace bandage. And, you know, that seemed to help out for a little while. And then what I ended up doing was buying an actual wrist brace. And it's, you know, to where when I was out on the road, if my wrist hurt, I could put this brace on and, you know, I wouldn't damage it anymore. So what ended up happening was even with the wrist brace, I'm finding myself in so much pain. So I talked to a bunch of different people about it, and everybody said the same thing. Get out of the Freightliner. They have the nickname Freight Shaker for a reason. Now, I bought a seat cushion for the seat, and that seemed to help a little bit until my trip home. So April and I were out. We were out for 3 weeks or whatever. And again, I'm fighting for loads. I have to call in all the time, and I'm fighting them about the loads. They're sending me these crap loads, and I'm declining them because at Crete you're allowed to decline the loads. They turn around and send it right back. So it's like, what's the point of allowing your drivers to decline loads if you're just going to turn around and throw it right back at them? So now, here I took another load out to Washington State, and it got to where when I got to Washington State, I was going to be out of hours completely, out of my 70. And it was going to be a day and a half before I started getting recap hours. So, like I had said to them, I've got just enough hours to make my delivery, get down to the next truck stop, which was 7 miles away, and shut down. So now, we get to the truck stop, we shut down to start our 34, and I start getting messages. Hey, we got this load that's going down to Southern California. It picks up tomorrow morning. Can you pick it up? And I says, well, no, I'm just now starting a 34 reset. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. The load doesn't pick up till tomorrow morning. And my reset's not going to be done till tomorrow night. And she goes, well, can you at least pick it up? And then we'll T-call it to another driver, and then you can do your 34. I says, no, that makes no sense. Why am I going to shut down now, be 24 hours into a 34-hour reset, I'm going to break that to go pick up a load, to hand off to another driver for him to make money on it, and then I have to start my 34-hour reset all over again. I said, that makes no sense. I'm not doing that. So she got all pissed at me. This is the load planner. She gets all pissed at me and, huffs and puffs away. And then, so I'm doing my 34 reset. They send me over it was a 255-mile run. And it was in Washington State, staying in Washington State. And it's like, even when I go out there, you guys giving me these shit runs. So I end up taking that one because she told me after this one, she has a pre-plan that picks up in Washington State that's going back to Pennsylvania. It was actually going to Connecticut. And I was scheduled to be home after all this. So I turn around and I go to pick up this trailer. This is where shit gets screwed up. So a driver picks up a load in Illinois, goes clear across the country to Washington State, drops us off in a drop yard. I get the load to pick up there in Washington to deliver it 255 miles down the road. It's now 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, somewhere early hours. I back up to this trailer. It's got a tire that's ready to explode. There's no brakes on the trailer at all. The ABS sensor is gone on the trailer, and it's 43,000 pounds. So now I'm sitting there scratching my head like, this is ridiculous. I get the paperwork out of the little box that we have on the trailers, and, ooh, coffee.
Ooh, coffee.
Thank you, darling. So, kudos. So I get the paperwork, I get back in the truck, and here is the weight scale ticket. So I'm looking at the weight scale ticket, and we're overweight on the tandems. Not by much, but we're overweight on the tandems. The driver hand writes a note, and it says, move the tandems back 1 notch. Now, you just drove this trailer 2,000 miles with a tire that's ready to explode, no brakes, no ABS, and it's overweight, and you want me to move the tandems back 1 notch for the last 255 miles? Yeah, Houston, we got a problem. Sounds like Creed is turning into New Schneider. Short runs, less money to the driver. Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is, too. So, now I got a choice. I could leave this trailer here, say the hell with the load, it's not my problem. Or I could be the hero and just take the trailer, make the delivery, and deal with the trailer condition after the delivery. It was a high priority load. It was a high paying load for the company going to Costco. And so I decided I'll hook up to the trailer, I'll start going, and if I have any problems, then I'm shutting down. So I looked at it. In the meantime, I will contact Crete and explain to them what's going on and what needs to take place from this point on. 4 hours, I'm blowing up the phone. 4 hours, nobody picked up the phone. So now, luckily enough, it wasn't an emergency. So, the next morning, I get a hold of somebody at my terminal, which was my assistant fleet manager. I love that woman to death. She's probably one of the best people there. So now, after I get a hold of her, we came up with a game plan as to what we needed to do. You know, who we needed to contact to fix the trailer. They're using you as an LTL driver. Yeah, I know. I knew that. Believe me, I knew that. So, I make the delivery, and the game plan was, I was gonna drop that trailer off in a drop yard somewhere else in Washington somewhere. I was just gonna do the delivery, go drop it off in a drop yard, and then Crete was going to send a repair technician to go fix the tire, check the brakes, fix the ABS, right there in the drop yard. It made no sense to me why you're gonna pay a road technician to come out and fix the trailer where it's at when I already had the trailer connected. There's a TA 30 miles away. There's a Love's not that far away. I could have took it to either one of them, and they could have repaired it there at their facility. But no, Breakdown would rather pay somebody to come out and fix it. And so I'm trying to talk to this guy, and he then tells me, word for word, I have too much going on right now. I don't have time to deal with this. The way I look at it, you got 2 options. Take the trailer or drop the trailer off. What he meant, take the load or drop the trailer off. And he goes, but I don't have time to deal with this. And then we ended the conversation. I'm on the phone with the director for Breakdown. discussing the condition of this trailer and trying to figure out what the next step is, and you're going to come at me telling me that you've got too much going on right now and you don't have time to deal with this? Trailer being a drop yard, feel free to pay them. I don't give a shit. It ain't coming out of my pocket. So now, my load that's going to Pennsylvania is ready. There's no other trailers in the state of Washington. I now have to drive 144 miles south down to Portland, Oregon, pick up an empty trailer, drive 255 miles back to the shipper with this new empty trailer that I just picked up from Oregon to get this load going to Pennsylvania. I get all that done. That takes up most of my clock. And there's a driver there from Crete, from the Crete side. So he does the dry vans. But he's got a Schaefer trailer. And he tells me that he just picked up that trailer at the Walmart distribution center around the corner. And that there's an overabundance of empty trailers at the Walmart facility. He's picking up a dry load, so they made him take a reefer trailer to go pick up a dry load at the same place that I'm at. I had to go down to a different state to get a Schaefer trailer, a reefer, to go to the same place. Now my load was a reefer load. Made no sense to me whatsoever. So now I'm on my way back, coming through Pennsylvania, and I get, just east of the I-35. That's where the road conditions, it's like somebody flips a switch. When you go west of the 35, everything is so nice and smooth out there, you could set a cup of coffee on your dashboard and it wouldn't even spill. You get to the east side of I-35, it will shake your entire truck apart. I mean, my refrigerator door comes flying open, and everything in my refrigerator comes flying out just because of the bumps in the road. It's horrible. So I contact Crete and I says, hey, blah, 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 this is what's going on. Can we get switched into a Kenworth? I'll send a message to Truck Assignments, and we'll get you switched out. I said, all right, well, I'm on my way, coming across the country. There's no particular rush, but I will be driving through Ohio, and I will be driving to our new Kingstown terminal. So if we can get a Kenworth from either one of those, I'd be more than happy to switch out, while I'm driving through. So I get closer to Ohio, and I call Truck Assignments. Truck Assignments tells me he doesn't know anything about this. And he says, he goes, as far as you going from a Freightliner to a Kenworth, he goes, that's not going to happen. He goes, the moment our trucks are becoming available, we already have somebody assigned to them. He goes, so there's no way I could take a driver that's already in a truck out of a truck and put him into a truck that's at a terminal. He goes, there's no way I can do that. He goes, so putting you into a Kenworth isn't going to happen anytime soon. Okay, not what I was told, but this is what happens when everybody's got their hands in the pot. So now, I'm to the point where I'm done driving. I was to the point, it's like, I can't drive this truck no more. I'm in so much pain every single day. I shouldn't have to feel like this. We sacrifice enough. And if I can't at least be comfortable in the truck that I'm in, where if I'm driving it, 11 hours a day, I shouldn't feel the way that I do. So, I now we're on our way to Pennsylvania. I'm talking to this. This gets good. I'm talking to my asset manager, and I told her, I says, well, this doesn't even deliver till Friday in Connecticut. I says, I'm going to be at our terminal in Pennsylvania at like 2 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. And I says, so I'm running like 2 days early. And I says, so I'm scheduled to be home. In fact, that Wednesday, I says, I'm scheduled to be home, so let's T-call the load in New Kingstown. I'll leave the trailer there, and I can go home, and then somebody else can come and pick this up on Thursday night and deliver it Friday morning. She said, okay, we'll get that set up. I then get a message back, and it states, the planner declined T-calling this load in New Kingstown, Pennsylvania, because you are going to be taking off 90% of the miles off this load. There was only 271 miles left to New Haven, Connecticut, and we can't leave that to another driver. So wait a minute. For the last 6 weeks, I've been doing these exact runs. Drivers who are T-calling loads, leaving 150, 200, 250 miles on these runs, and I'm the one that's finishing them off. And now that the shoe is on the other foot, you're telling me that you can't accept that? And that you're declining the T-call in Pennsylvania because there's only 271 miles left? My reaction was exactly what was expected. I'm on the phone with my asset manager, and I told her, I don't care if they declined it or not. I'm dropping this trailer off in New Kingstown, Pennsylvania, whether they like it or not. And if the higher-ups has a problem with it, they can call me and we'll discuss it. But I promise you, Wednesday morning, that trailer is going to be sitting there. So, I call loads less than 50 miles all the time. Yeah. Oh, I know. Like I said, I was doing this for 6 weeks. I'm doing these runs constantly. But like I said, now that the shoe was on the other foot, they're declining it. So again, my reaction, I told them, it's going to be there whether you like it or not. I don't care. You could charge me with load abandonment. You can take this truck and shove it up your ass. I don't care. And I says, after all that I have gone through with this company in the last 6 weeks, now it's my turn to get the mileage for a change, drop the load off because I'm 2 days early, and it's my time to go home, and you're declining it? Did you really think that that was going to fly with me? I don't know what the hell these people were thinking. So Tuesday afternoon comes, and at this point, it's still declined. I'm not supposed to be T-calling this load in Pennsylvania. So I sent a message over the terminal, over the computer. This way, it's not just my voice over the phone. I'm sending this same very message over the terminal. This way, whoever wants it can read it and do whatever the hell they want with it. So I put in there, I'm dropping this trailer off tomorrow morning around 2 to 3 a.m. The planner decline the T-call, but this trailer will be in New Kingstown first thing in the morning, whether they like it or not. If there's any problems, questions, or concerns, feel free to call me at any time. 10 minutes later, I get a message back. Your T-call has been approved. And then she calls me. And now, let me back this up just a hair. When I was in Washington, I'm talking to different people, Trucker Will, family members, whatever. And everybody kept telling me, why don't you, text the CEO? Text him. You guys were talking before. He's the one that got you back in there. Text him and let him know what's going on. So I did that. I went up the chain of command. I went to my asset manager. Now, my fleet manager, forget about him. I've called him on 5 different occasions. One was just to introduce myself to him and meet him and whatever over the phone, but 5 different occasions. All 5 times he's been in a meeting. I leave him a voicemail. Never once did I get a phone call back. Never. So we went from the asset manager to the assistant fleet manager, which I love her to death. Angie is the best person that works at that company. From her to the terminal manager, from the terminal manager to the CEO. I did all this in each of these situations, and nothing has changed. Now, I'm not even going to get into the whole safety feature. Well, here, let's talk about the safety features on this truck. We'll get into it. We got nothing but time. Enjoy the show. What do we got? They got what they deserve, brother. Oh, it gets better. Now, we'll start with the safety. You know what? Let's start with the fuel optimizer. Let's start there. So the fuel optimizer sends me to this pilot. Now, originally, the fuel optimizer had me going way north, way further north than what I needed. They wanted me going out the 94 through Montana, North Dakota, all the way across. Now, I go my own way. Went through Montana, shot down, got on the 90, went down another one, jumped on the 80. Anyways, the fuel optimizer had me stopping at this pilot. Get to the pilot, the pumps are down. No power to the pumps, whatever. Can't get fuel. Okay, so I did my research. I'm looking it up. Okay, there's a Love's 30 miles away. Sent a message over the terminal. Hey, can't get fuel here. Pumps are down. Please send me a new fuel optimizer with this Love's, the Love's number, in this city, this state, this exit number off of this interstate. Great details. Can't fuck it up. All of a sudden, I get the fuel optimizer and it says, stop at the Flying J. Now, looking at it, it's at the same exit, same city, state, whatever, same area. It's across the street from the Love's. Not a big deal. Whatever. I don't care if I get fuel at Love's, Flying J, it doesn't matter. But I get off the exit. Find out that the Flying J's and the pilots aren't really Flying J's and pilots in Montana. This was the little hole-in-the-wall gas station that it had one pump in the back from like the 1950s. There's no, paying prepay way, no nothing. There was no DEF fluid, which I needed DEF. So one pump on a dirt lot. The place is packed. Everybody's parked. It's middle of the night. I pull up. There's a truck that's already there. He's been there for 2 hours. his load shifted. He's been trying to fix his load, so he had to move. So I get in between the pumps, get out of the truck. Now I got to go around to the front of the building and go in to prepay for my fuel. Now, when I get around to the front of the building, I come to realize that I am now at a gas station in the inner city. I don't know what city it was, but it was definitely the inner city. And I'm being watched like a hawk. So, I have those old school pumps in Montana. Oh, I know those. Yeah. So, I open up the front door. Now, this gas station isn't bigger than a one-car garage at a house. I mean, it's just this small little shithole. The guy behind the counter, two guys on the other side and two girls, the place is filled with smoke. I open up the front door, and all five of them are smoking out of a bong right on the counter. I close the door and I'm like, oh hell no. I would have walked into this place, I would have been baked by the time I got out. So I go back to the truck, I get in the truck, start it up, got the hell out. No, not a place for me. I'm gonna get in trouble. So I go across the street to the Loves. It's like, again, somebody flipped the switch. Totally different place. It's a typical Loves. They have everything over there. Everything's nice and clean and secured and no problems. Nobody's smoking a bong in the Loves. So I have to send a message because I'm not approved to get fuel here. I was approved for the Flying Bong place. Now, I got to send a message over the terminal, so now I'm pissed. This is the third time, or my third stop, just to put fuel in the truck. And it's like, this is ridiculous. I'm wasting so much time just to put fuel into the truck. So I have to send them a message. And I tell them, I can't get fuel. Well, I can. I'm not getting fuel at the Flying J because this, and this. There's no DEF. There's only one prompt, and they're baking the place to death. And I'm not getting fuel there. Once again, I'm at this Loves, this location, this city, this state, this exit, this interstate. Can you please stop wasting my time and put fuel? Let me put fuel in this truck so I can continue to do my job. Now, you would think that I would get a message back that said, okay, you're all set there at the Loves. So I'm sitting there at the pump. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. And so April and I are just sitting there shooting the shit. And I'm waiting for a return message because the pumps won't accept my card until it's been approved. So a few minutes go by. And I said, you know what? I wonder if they approved it and they just haven't said anything. So I'm on the app now because I learned how to do that through the Loves app. I can set up the fuel pumps from the app. I ain't even got to get out of the truck. So I set up the pump. Sure as shit, it goes through. I'm like, they couldn't even have the decency to send me a message over the terminal that says, okay, you're all set at the Loves. Nothing. So now I get out and I fill up the truck, fill up the reefer, fill up the DEF, we get coffee, everything's good, we get back out on the road. I just now wasted, between the 3 gas stations, over an hour and a half dicking around just to put fuel into the truck. Let me read some of your comments. Brother, I stopped to get fuel at this mom pop in Wyoming and the old card swiper with the paper receipts. Yeah, I know that they're out there, and I don't mind it long as if everything works. I mean, if it's a 1950s pump and I got to go in and prepay, not a big deal. But when the place is baked out and they're smoking a bong on the front counter, I'm all set. Thanks to carbon paper receipts. Flying bong. Oh my god, I'm dead. What's up, Scott? No, we're just talking about Crete there, Scott. So, and then I'm in the midst of, I'm supposed to be setting up the system because I finally got my monitors in. But we'll get there. Don't worry. This is going to be a long video. So sit back, enjoy the show. It's going to be a fun one. That's unacceptable, wasting an hour and a half just to fuel. Well, and see, this was my problem. It's like this is, like I tell you, I got to fight to get loads. I got to fight to get fuel. I've got to fight just to do my job. But wait, it gets better. Let's talk about the safety features on this truck. Me and the CEO went back and forth with this today, and it went way different than I thought it was going to. So they screwed you over because you did not break your 34. Yeah, I know. You know, I didn't do what they wanted me to do, so they're got a wild hair in their ass. But whatever, done with it. But anyways, let's discuss safety features. So, like my cousin Scott, who was just messaging there, every time I'm on the phone with him, everybody hears, you know, and anybody that's on the phone with me, they hear the beep in the background. And we have the sensor on, it's called the Bendix system, but we have the sensor on the front of the truck that if we are within 250 feet of the vehicle in front of us, the truck is going to beep at you every 10 seconds until you get 250 feet or more. So if I'm 250 feet, it's fine. The moment it hits 249 feet, it starts beeping. So there comes a point in time where, you know, like my cousin Scott said, just reach through the dashboard and choke the fucking thing. And I'd love to. If I knew where that little itty bitty loud ass speaker was, I would have ripped that thing out of that truck a long time ago. So, like I said, now what Crete wants you to do, if a vehicle gets in front of you, which if you're a truck driver, we all know how that works. If a vehicle gets in front of you, they want you to back off of it until you're 250 feet or more away from it. Now, we all know, okay, back off 250 feet. What happens next? Next car, right in front of you. Everybody's got to be in front of the truck. Even though that's the most unsafe and worst place you could possibly be, everybody's got to be in front of the truck. This thing beeps all day long. This is all I hear. I hear it in my sleep. So what I started to do was, now I'm running the overnights now. I'm starting up at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I'll drive throughout the night just so I don't have to listen to that, or there's a hell of a lot less of it. Now, they also have a sensor on the front of the truck. It's called the anti-collision warning. Hold that thought. I'm never going to look at Flying J the same way again. No, it's the Flying Bong, man. Oh, coffee. So, driving down the road, it's early morning hours. Picture it. Nothing but road out in front of me. I'm out west. Sun's coming up. And all of a sudden, big red warning light on the dashboard, anti-collision warning, and it sets the brakes to the truck. Now, this is where I have problems. Big, big problems. The speed limit out west is 80 miles an hour. My truck is governed at 65. So, at any given moment, any vehicle, four-wheeler, semi-truck, owner-operator, Class B truck, doesn't matter what the hell it is, chances are they're doing around 15 miles an hour faster than I could possibly go. Driving down the road, nothing in front of me. The sensor picks up the shadow of the truck. Oh shit, anti-collision, warning, brakes. 43,000 pounds of wine, of Chardonnay, in the back of the trailer. Luckily enough, nobody was around. And I caught the brakes in time. Now, my thought was this. Picture it. 65 mile an hour truck. 80 mile an hour truck coming up behind me. And out of nowhere, my truck comes to a screeching halt. This truck's flying up behind me. I'm coming to a screeching halt. He's doing 80 miles an hour, and I got 43,000 pounds of wine in the back of my trailer. I have no idea what he's got in his. Who's going to die? It's going to be somebody. It's going to be me. It's going to be April. It's going to be the other driver behind me, more than likely him. Yeah, I know the 250-foot distance thing. That's more of an annoyance as far as the vehicle in front of me and the truck beeping. The anti-collision. Who thought that it was a great idea to set up a computer system that takes over brake control on a truck? So, again, all of a sudden my truck's coming to a screeching halt. If there's a truck behind me doing 80 miles an hour, who's dying? And was that safety feature on the truck worth that guy's life? Or worth my life? Or worth her life? So now, I'm babysitting this truck. I'm listening, and I'm prepped. I'm ready. If I see the red warning, I got to make sure I'm holding the brakes in, because it's gonna pop the brakes out. You know, and like I said, the truck got afraid of its own shadow. There wasn't anybody in front of me. There wasn't a cone. There wasn't a bridge embankment. There wasn't anything in front of me. It was its own shadow. This thing is a death trap. So, anyways, all of this happens in the last few weeks. I get to Pennsylvania. I drop the trailer off. At this point, I'm about 90% sure I'm about done. Drive up from Pennsylvania to drive home. And when I parked the truck here, I was in so much pain. My wrist, my back, my neck. And it's like, you know what? I can't do this no more. So when I got home, I made the decision that I'm done. I've had enough. I can literally walk away from this truck thinking to myself, I've done all I can do with this company. I've talked to everybody that I could possibly talk to. The CEO, I never even heard back from. 5 days later, I got a text message back. The fleet manager, he's useless. I can't get a hold of him. So the one that I'm really talking to is Angie, which is the assistant fleet manager. She sends out messages to the right people and never hears anything back. again, I've done all I can. So now mine goes off from bridges and road cones. Yeah, wait till yours goes off on a shadow. But wait till it sets your brakes. That's the best. When it automatically sets your air brakes. Hope you got your seatbelt on. Now, the other thing was, so like I said, I get home, park the truck. I'm good. I'm done. Following morning, I was in so much pain, I didn't even clean out the truck then when I got here. So, I think that's how trucks roll going down a straight road. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, so I was in so much pain, I didn't even clean the truck out when I got home. The next morning, well, I'll tell you what, that night, we went to bed. I slept 14 hours. 14 hours. I was exhausted. And it was also assisted, too. Nice little shot of Ezekiel and good night. But now, we're going to rip open one of these monitors. So the next morning, I go and I clean out the truck. Shit, I can't even get this open. And I did the right thing. I called up Crete and talked to the asset manager. And I told her, I says, I'm done at Crete. I can't deal with this shit no more. I shouldn't have to fight for loads. I shouldn't have to fight to put fuel in the truck. I shouldn't have to feel the way that I do when I get done working. And nobody wants to do anything about it. And so, you know, at this point, you know, I'm done at Crete. And I explained to her that man, they really package the shit out of these things. So I told her, I says, you know, the truck's all cleaned out, and there's a key zip tied in a certain spot of the truck. And I says, they can feel free to come and get it. All of a sudden, 2 hours later, my phone is exploding. I'm getting messages from, or I'm getting phone calls from the terminal from my fleet manager that I've never even heard from. I'm getting messages from him. I'm getting messages from the CEO, who I messaged 5 days ago and didn't even have the decency to call me back or even text me back. Now all of a sudden, they all got the message. Trucker L just quit. Now they have time to contact me and blow up my phone. So I shut my phone off. And I said, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not, no. They couldn't have the decency to answer me or even contact me in a fashionable amount of time when I needed them. And now all of a sudden that I put in my notice, oh, I could have did this easier way. Now all of a sudden that I quit, now all of a sudden we have time. Let's call them and see what we can do. So I let it fester for a few days. The truck popped the air brakes? Yes. The truck's popping air brakes. With that anti-collision sensor, yes. It pops the air brakes, both trailer and tractor. It's fun. That's twice that it's happened to me. So now, oh shit, I think I just screwed up your nail file. I'm gonna have to buy you a new one. Might be alright. So again, I let this fester for a few days. And I turned my phone on this morning. Or no, I'm sorry, yesterday. Turned my phone on. And nice and quiet. There's a couple of voicemails, from everybody. Angie at the terminal, the fleet manager, the CEO. I got text messages. Hey, we wanted to do a conference call. Where are you? That was the message I got from the CEO. Where are you? So now, today, I accidentally left my phone on last night. First thing this morning, now I went to bed probably 3:30, somewhere around there. And all of a sudden, first thing this morning, my phone is exploding. 5 calls back to back to back to back to back. On the last one, they finally left a voicemail. And at this point, I'm now getting out of bed and I'm pissed off. It's like, what the hell? I had a long enough night as it was with the dog. But, so it's the fleet manager, Mr. Willie. I'm just now getting this box open. That's how bad these things are freaking put together. Holy crap, these people didn't mess around. So now, I get the voicemail from Willie. Hey Al, when you get a chance, I'd really like to talk to you. I want to see if there's anything we can do. I'd like, to hear your concerns and, see what we can change, to make things better. So I go out and I sit down and I have a cigarette and then I call him. I said, okay, let's do this. First thing in the morning, I haven't even had my coffee yet, but now I'm going to turn around and deal with your shit. Industrial tape? Yeah. These guys didn't mess around, I'll tell you that. That's one thing I'll give Amazon. That's where I ordered these off of Amazon, and they definitely package the crap out of these things. Packaged on Swift. Never thought of that. So now, I'm on the phone with this guy for an hour and a half. And I pretty much said everything to him like I just explained to you guys. And, he's like, well, I want to get the CEO involved. I want to get Eric involved. And, oh, what the hell this is? That might be one of the legs. He's like, I want to get the CEO involved, so what we'll do is we'll have a conference call, in just a little while, if you don't mind. And I told him straight out, I said, that's fine. I says, I have no problems telling the CEO exactly like I've said to everybody else. The problems that I've had in this company, I've got no problems whatsoever expressing exactly how I feel to the CEO. The CEO is just another person. I'm not one of those types of people that, oh, you're the CEO, so you deserve much more respect than anybody else. No, you're another human being just like me. The only difference between you and I is you're the one that makes really the big decisions, and I'm the one, I just gotta deal with it. That's not going to stop me from expressing exactly how I feel. And I'm talking to the CEO just like I'm talking now. I'm dropping F-bombs and everything to the CEO. I don't give a shit. And it's no disrespect to him. It's just, I get to this point because I've put so much into, going to Crete and being at Crete and going back to Crete. And, to get treated the way that I did, And for me to have to fight for loads and fight to get fuel and fight just to work, had I known it was going to be like this, I would have never went back there to begin with. We all know that. So, oh, that's a nice monitor. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Let me get all the side packages out. I may have to set up the stand first. So, all of a sudden, probably about an hour later, Willie calls me back, and he's got the CEO on the phone. So I start talking to the CEO, and I'm telling him, thank you. That'll make life a lot easier. Hey. Is the coffee still hot?
Yeah, it is. You want more?
Please. I've been doing too much talking, so that got like ice cold.
You too much talking?
Yeah, I know. She loves me. What's poppin'? What's up, Misfit? Zoltan. It's time to go back to England. I'd expect nothing less from you. So again, I'm on the phone with this guy. I'm talking to him about the safety features of the truck. And he proceeds to tell me there's not enough safety features on this truck. They're finding ways to put more sensors on the truck. And their new thing is now lane change sensors. So if you turn your signal on and there's a vehicle next to you, your truck is going to blow bells and whistles and horns and everything else to let you know that there's somebody over there. To me, it sounds like they want technology to drive the truck instead of the driver. And it's exactly what I said to him. I said, the drivers have no control of these trucks. These things are beeping at us all day long. They're setting the brakes on us. We got horns and lights and buzzers. And I said to him, I go, you're expecting a computer to drive the truck. And I says like this. And you guys can, go with this as well. How many times is your phone screwed up on you? How many times has a home computer, a laptop, an iPad screw up on you? It's not working right. It's faulting. Now you take the same very technology, you put it into a vehicle that's 70 to 80,000 pounds at any given time, and you expect this technology to run the truck and the driver as a backup plan. That's pretty much what it is. You want the computers to run the truck. The driver is there as a backup to the computer in case the computer fails. That's pretty much what it is. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not going to put my ass in a seat to a vehicle that's controlled by a computer that's going to fail constantly. Thank you. And I'm going to be there to save that truck's ass when it's going to kill me. That's what Crete is coming down to. And it's not just Crete. I think a lot of the mega carriers are going to follow suit. It's getting to the point where they want technology to run the trucks. And the driver is a backup. So in a nutshell, you are to steer the truck. That's pretty much about it. Just to steer. The truck, they control how fast you go. They're going to control when you can't lane change. Who's coming in with the drop? Misfit's coming in with the $3 drop. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. So, again, it's to the point where, like I said to the CEO, are you ever going to get to a point to where you allow the drivers to drive these trucks? And, you know, we got into the topic of, you know, the whole governed at 65. There's no reason why you can't put those trucks at 68 miles an hour. None whatsoever. But you choose not to because you don't trust your drivers enough to go 3 miles an hour faster. We're no longer truckers, we're pilots. LOL, just seat warmers. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, brother. I'm gonna apply for Tesla feet. They're in pockets with the mega insurance companies. Yep, fuel mileage is all it's about, and the money. Zoltan coming in with the $3 drop. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate your support, man. Zoltan's been with me a long time. Same thing with Misfit Trucker. You guys have been with me a long time. I appreciate you guys' support. I really do. So, that is the gist of what happened with me and Crete and why I'm no longer there. What am I going to do from here? Well, there's a couple of different options that Trucker Al's got. One of which, when you on the road again? Not happening, brother. Not right now. So, I'm taking some time off. And, you know, I've got Trucker Will in my ear every day. And the famous saying with Trucker Will, I mean, I answer the phone, you know, it comes up his name. It says Trucker Will on my phone. I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I hear, come to Prime. He calls me up just to say that. Come to Prime. He's itching for me to go to Prime and lease a truck through them. He's all over me. Especially now that he knows I'm not with Crete anymore. So, Hart, Bangor, Auburn, Maine. Can I call you tomorrow? I'm at a new company, 60 cents a mile. When concerts start, hauling concert equipment, $16.50 salary for 1,000 miles a week. Prime was no go from what I remember. Misfit Truck, yeah, you can call me anytime you want, brother. I'll have to somehow figure out how I can get, because I changed my phone number, and I'll have to figure out how to get that to you. You know what? Call Trucker Will tomorrow and have him call me on three-way, and I'll give you the number. We'll talk tomorrow. But right now, what my plan is I took some time off. If I don't have to truck drive, I'm not going to. But if for whatever reason I decide to go back out on the road, for whatever reason, I will be going to Prime, and I will be getting a truck, leasing a truck through them. That is for certain. If I go back out on the road, I'm not going back to Crete. I will not be a company driver. I'm going to focus on getting my own truck. That is for certain. I thought Prime said no to you before. Yeah, but the reason why Prime said no to me before, if you remember that video, really don't want to get into the details right now, but the reason why Prime said no before is no longer a factor. $10-4, email me. Oh yeah, I can email you too. I got you. I got you. So, right now, I'm focusing on, yeah, we're about Hirschbach. No, I've made up my mind. I mean, I didn't want to be one of those drivers that goes from company to company to company to company, and I've already done that enough. So, like I said, if I become a truck driver, listen to me. If I decide to continue doing truck driving, I'm gonna, I like how Will says it. Will has a metaphor for this, for me. He tells me I'm too big of a fish in too small of a pond at Crete. So, in other words, I have too much knowledge and too much experience to be a company driver at a mega carrier. And, he may be right. If you go to Prime, I'll see you there next November. Hopefully after retire from the shit show I'm at now. Take over the virtual classroom of first graders. They'll be back in the truck after a week. No, I'm all set with that. Even now, how the hell? Oh, like this. Alright. That makes no sense. Alright. I guess. This is easy. So, right now I'm putting together a stand to one of the monitors. We're going to get one of these things hooked up right now. As far as what I'm doing with this channel, I know some of you are going to be upset. Some of you are going to be happy. But at this point, I'm doing what... It's not what I feel is right, but it's kind of what I want to do. I mean, it is my channel. I'm here for you guys, mostly. But what I am going to do, obviously you guys see what I've got kicking here. I've got a massive NASA computer that I just bought. The triple monitor setup, curved wide, super wide screens, laptop involved. I see a lot of people that are doing this, and it turns out they're pretty successful at it. Not just financially, but every aspect of doing this. They're happy doing it. I'm gonna pretty much start streaming every single day. We're gonna get the truck simulator back together. In fact, I just got all that downloaded yesterday. What the hell? Oh, I didn't realize this was a 2-part battery setup. No shit. Oh, you know why? It's a computer monitor. It's not an actual TV. So it actually has a battery backup. In case you lose power, you got enough time to shut down before the monitor shut off. That's a good feature to have. Where are we going with these comments here? Baker Owl, let's see. Are you going to try and fly the 747-800 Intercontinental once you get the new flight simulator running? Yes. YouTuber Chad Rich been trying to get me at Prime for almost 2 years. Says Kenworth. Yeah, Trucker Will's been trying to get me over at Prime since me and Trucker Will became friends. I had to take everything down when I set up virtual classrooms since the schools did not open back up. No truck simulator for me for a little bit. I would have told that school to drop dead. I'm about to go play truck simulator now. Nice. The end of this month, I've been driving for 1 year. Good job. Congratulations, man. Misfit says, I'll catch you later. All right, have fun driving. Be safe out there, man. So I know how you feel when it whispers in your ear all the time. Yeah. Come to Prime. So, we're going to, like I said, I'm going to start streaming every day. And this very well may start tomorrow morning. So I'm going to turn this channel around and start streaming, you know, like I said, the American Truck Simulator, we got GTA 5, we got the Flight Simulator, which the Flight Simulator, you guys are going to love that one. Just understand with the Flight Simulator, it's new. It just came out last week. There's a lot of hiccups with it. And usually as time goes on with a program like this program took years to create. And this was a long time waiting for this program to come out. And now that it's out, you know, a lot of people are saying that this program was released way too soon. And I'll kind of agree with that to an extreme. So, but we're going to start streaming these every day. I played the new NASCAR simulator and it was pretty fun. Zoltan, I'm not sure if it's the same one. Check out iRacing. Now, the only problem with iRacing is that it's a subscription type thing, so you got to pay whether yearly or monthly on it. But if you're into NASCAR racing and you want reality, and that program there, iRacing, if you get to a Class A license and you actually run in the Peak Antifreeze series, there's payouts at the end. I think it's like 10 grand. They actually pay out to the winner 10 grand. It's intense. But that, you know, something like that, it takes a lot of dedication. I tried getting into it, and I mean, when, you know, back in the day when I was married, I was in the process of building an actual simulator. I had a 3-screen setup, and I took 1.5 inch or 2-inch PVC pipe, set it all up. I had lights on it. So like if an accident happened, the yellow caution lights, I had yellow caution lights set up that would flash. I had this setup going, and as I was building it, our sump pump shit the bed and flooded out the basement, which is, in our basement was completely finished, and it destroyed everything I had. I had the black and white checkered flooring. I had a setup going, and the flood destroyed everything. And then it was shortly after that, her and I split. It's supposed to go 8,000 range in the 747-8. I'm going to try to do JFK to Hong Kong nonstop. Yeah, buddy. That's a hell of a flight. That's a long time flying. So, now that we're talking about the simulator, last night, now again, I only had the one screen. These monitors didn't show up till today. So last night, I got on the simulator, the flight, jumped into the A320 Nero, and I said, all right, we're gonna do a flight from JFK to Chicago O'Hare. We're gonna try to take off. We're gonna do the trip plan, or the flight plan. We're gonna do all that, and I wanna see how it's like doing an ILS landing. So I was going to allow to do auto land. I wanted to see how well this works. So I'm flying 32 or 36,000 feet in the air. Just as I start my descent, coming in, I'm going to get onto the final. Just as I start the descent, I don't know what happened. I very well may have hit a button that I'm not sure of. I just don't know what happened. My whole plane lost power. There was no power to this plane whatsoever. I couldn't put the landing gear down. I couldn't put the flaps down. I couldn't restart the plane. I mean, I'm hitting the battery switches, the APU. I'm hitting everything. Nothing is happening. So now I'm just a dead glider, 32,000 feet in the air, starting my descent into Chicago. The funny thing is, I almost made it to the airport, and I actually ended up dropping the plane in an empty parking lot that had trailers. So I got up and I was telling April, I says, I think I just dropped my plane in Creech Drop Yard in Illinois. It's like, I don't know what happened. I just lost all power. And I'm chalking that up to, that's one of the quirks about the new simulator is that, it's new. There's still a lot of things out there. Now, when it comes to, the planes, a lot of the aftermarket planes, like PMDG, my favorite plane to fly is the 737-800. And PMDG is actually in the process of making, they're in the process of bringing over their 4 planes over to this simulator. And that's what I'm waiting on. So for right now, I'm practicing with the stock planes that came with the game. Scott says, later, dude. All right, Scott, we'll see you later. I've been wanting to get Wreckfest Destruction Derby. Yeah, Wreckfest is a blast. I got that on there. Off COVID, I just bought the game, the same site, Truck Simulator. Sucks to hear that yours was ruined. Yeah, that's all right. Everything happens for a reason. So, you guys ready for this? Are you ready? I don't know. I got this thing bulging out the back here. I'm going to assume is for this. Well, let me make sure this gets on there right. So I could screw this in the way it's supposed to. That's good. So it's screwed on, so I ain't got to worry about it falling off. So let's just make sure she's good and tight. It's always good to make sure she's good and tight. Alright, so here's one. Oh, and I'll tell you right now, the video doesn't do justice. This thing is got the tilt on it. My first impression looking at this sitting here, it's shorter than I had expected. Top to bottom, left to right is beautiful. And the thing I like about these monitors is that there's no edges. So when I set the next screen up, say over here, the bezel is almost next to nothing in between the monitors. That I like. The other thing is, and this was a concern that April and I were discussing before. Now, if you guys remember the setup that I had, I'm not sure if I ever showed it on screen. I'll show you guys this entire setup once I'm done. I mean, this thing's going to be lit up and it's going to be beautiful. But my old setup that I had, April has her gaming computer, and I gave her the 3 monitor setup that I had here, which was the 3 32-inch screens. She's got that set up now on her desk. That's mine. Yeah. What on earth did you do with all the stuff you had before everything was set up about a month ago? See? I didn't even read that in here. We're going to discuss it. That plane was engineered by Freightliner. Yeah, buddy. I freaking love you guys. Even in the worst of moods, you guys make me freaking laugh. Can't wait. I have a lot of time on my hands with my ankle still messed up and more surgery in the next month. Yeah. So, yeah, everything that I had, well, the computer April's got out there, the 3 monitors April's got out there, so she's got her set up. April is supposed to be, and no, it's not going to be supposed to be. I'm going to light a fire under her ass pretty soon. But April's going to be starting her own YouTube channel as well, because we also have the farming sim. If you guys remember me playing that, where April and I had gotten to a point to where we were actually working on the same farm together. We're going to continue that. We're going to get more in depth with the whole farming sim and her and I doing it together. But April is also going to be starting a YouTube channel and streaming, what she's doing on her computer. So we're both going to be going at, YouTube streaming constantly, almost every day. I haven't come up with a set schedule. I would say somewhere around noon, 1 o'clock every day. This is just me talking shit. So it may change. It may be 9 o'clock in the morning. It could be 10 o'clock. But we're going to be on for a long time. Hours and hours, just gaming, streaming. And April's going to be doing hers on her channel. I'm going to be doing mine on my channel. There's going to be times where April and I are doing the farm simulator and we're on the same game together, and we're going to be on the Discord. You guys will be able to communicate with both of us. She'll be streaming on her channel. I'll be streaming it on my channel. So you guys will be able to interact with both of us. And then I was going to get your guys' opinion on this. This is something I was thinking about the other night. Let's see. Al, did you return your truck to the terminal? Hell no. They can fucking come and get it. I ain't going back down there. April just needs a good name. So if anybody, comes up with a good name for Pocahontas, feel free to throw it at her. April, check out this farm wife. Ooh, this farm wife. I don't like that. So I was thinking that, during the week we'll stream the games. Anything. New games that come out, we'll get them. We'll look into them. We'll stream it. Everything is going to get streamed from now on. So what I was thinking is maybe either Friday nights or Saturday nights we're going to do a hangout. So I'll set something up. We'll set up the stream and we'll just hang out, shoot the shit, talk about what we did during the week. We could talk about what's coming up next week. I'm going to get a little bit more into the social media aspect, so there is probably a good chance I may end up jumping on Facebook again. So for those of you that are big Facebook people, I may end up jumping onto something like that. I've never gotten into Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, any of that crap. The only social media I've ever had was either a MySpace or a Facebook. I've never gotten into Twitter and Snapchat and, all of that. So, but like I said, what I may end up doing is either on a Friday night or a Saturday night, we'll just do like a hangout. Everybody's more than welcome. I could do it from the computer, and we could do it through either Skype or, one of those sites where we can video chat with other people. I could put Trucker Will on the screen. I could put Nip on the screen. I could put Misfit Trucker on the screen. I could find Billy Rains' big ass, find him out there. I haven't seen or heard from him in months. I don't even know if he's still alive. We had him on Life 360. He disappeared from that. Hopefully he's doing okay. But I was going to get your guys' opinion on that and see what you think. Like I said, we'll stream all week long the video games. We'll have fun. And then Friday night or Saturday night, we'll do like a hangout. Kind of like a bonfire. Can you make money doing this? Absolutely. Anybody that wants to support the channel, I'm not, you guys know me, I'm not an e-beggar. I don't come on here, asking for money. That's not me. If you guys want to support the channel, and you guys will notice that the channel's going to grow tremendously and probably quickly. The best way to support the channel is through the super chats. If you guys want to support me, that way, that's what keeps the channel going, is the support through the super chats. I'm going to look into Patreon. I don't know much about it. I've never gotten into it. I've never had a need for it. But I am going to look into it, and I may end up even with a Patreon. That's the best way to support the channel. That is what helps me upgrade this equipment. Now, every dime that I've put into these computer systems, even the one that April's got, this was my money. This isn't any money from YouTube. I haven't really made a whole hell of a lot off of YouTube, even recently, to where I could say that YouTube is supporting me. Yes, you can make very good money off of doing this. Not just from you guys supporting me, but there comes a time when your channel gets big enough, you'll end up with sponsorships and stuff like that. And those become, a big support to the channel. But again, anybody out there that wants to support the channel, I mean, even just hitting the like button, getting, sharing the video, on your social medias, if we're playing the farm simulator and you think a family or a friend of yours, might enjoy watching the same game or might even enjoy it and they want to look at the game first, shoot them over my video, show them, what it's like. And the more views I get paid from AdSense, from Google, as the videos are being watched. And again, if you guys want to support, the best way to do it is through the super chats. And then I'll look into Patreon, but that's later on. But yes, you can make money doing it. Golden State Network, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Saturdays and Sunday, my nights home. Love to play with you guys. All right, good deal. He has a channel called Beefy Boys. Yeah, I know. I just, I haven't been subscribed to Billy's channel in quite a while. Only, he pretty much stopped making videos. So, alright. The wiring I'll do after. I'll do that off camera because the wiring is going to get very technical. I could spend hours with the wiring of all this because I've got the steering wheel and pedals that you guys know and the shifter for the truck simulator and any driving games. And then I have that set up to where I could take that off, set it down, and then pick up the flight stuff. I got the flight yoke, I got the throttle quadrant. So I've got to have this wired right. That's going to take hours. So for right now, we're just going to get the monitors put together. We'll put them up here and we'll go from there. So what I'm thinking about doing, I don't think you guys could see it. Oh, there goes the iPad. See this pole right here? There's the little round thing. So what I'm going to have is these three monitors are going to be in surround. And then I'm going to have the fourth monitor off the top of this one. So the three monitors will have the game on it. I could do this a couple of different ways. I can have 4 separate monitors. So I could play the game on this one, have the stream off of the one here on the left, have my Discord here on the right, and have YouTube going up here. I can do it that way, or I can run the game off of all 3 screens. That'll be immersive. That'll be insane. Run all 3 screens on the one game, and then have the stream running off the 4th monitor. That's how I used to do it. How I'm gonna do it now, I don't know yet. We'll see. Let me get this iPad back up that just fell. Al still driving? No, Nicholas, Trucker Al's done driving. I don't know how long we've been on right now, but if you want the details as to why I'm not driving, it's in this video. So feel free to go back and watch all that. There's a whole lot to it. Subscribe Esther. Subscribe Esther? Lost me on that one, brother. Subscribe Esther. Alright, round 2. April was kind enough to bring me my knife. That'll make things a whole lot easier. Oh, like a hot knife through butter. So I know a lot of people, you know, they used to tell me, don't change the channel, don't change the content. Well, we're going to do it anyway. Because I think there's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of interest in it. And it's better for my health. It's less stressful. Now, I've been home, what's today, Wednesday? I've been home a week. And already, my wrist feels better. My back feels better. I got a chiropractor appointment on Friday. And I haven't been completely reset in quite a while. So that's on Friday. So just a heads up for everybody is that, like I said, the next couple of days, I'm going to jump on the stream. We're going to stream every day. The next couple of days is going to be me getting things set up. I'm going to, once I get everything put in place and wired up and all the lights and everything, then it's going to getting into the details of the computer. Putting the mods into the games. We're going to be changing up GTA 5. We're going to be getting some new mods for the truck simulator. So the next couple of days is going to be that. Just getting everything set up. And I wanted to bring you guys along with me because typically anybody that does things like this, it's all of a sudden, poof, they've got a complete get up and everybody and their brother's asking, you know, what kind of system you got, how did you set it up, you know, how things are done. I want you guys to see this firsthand. So tonight, the only thing you guys don't really need to see, I mean, if you guys are interested, I could wait till tomorrow to do it, but is me putting all the wires together and doing what they call wire management. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for tonight. I ended up getting a cat nap earlier, and it got to the point where, you know, this big ass desk and I have no room. It got to the point where Crete was still blowing me up. Even after I talked to the CEO, you know, they're still doing everything to try to get me back. In fact, I ended up taking a little bit of a nap earlier, and when I woke up, I had two voicemails. One from the fleet manager. It says, well, the first one was the fleet assistant manager, the one that I like, Angie. She's cool as shit. There was a message from her, hey, it's me, just wanted to chat for a little bit. If you can, give me a call when you get a chance. That's pretty much what that one was. The next one I got, which was about 20 minutes later, was from the actual fleet manager, Mr. Willie. And they mysteriously came up with a Kenworth. And it's down in New Kingstown, Pennsylvania. And we'd like to get you a load from home to towards Pennsylvania so we can get you swapped out and into a different truck. Now, the way that I ended the phone conversation with him and the CEO at the conference call, I told him that I'm pretty much all set. I'm good where I'm at. But apparently, they have a problem of taking no for an answer. So, but whatever, they'll figure it out. They better hurry up and come and get that truck. I've got the truck. There's a Walmart right up the street, and I've got the truck parked there. It's just a truck, no trailer, and it's been there a week. And I'm sure Walmart's going to get concerned about it at some point. And but hey, I did my part. I told Crete, come and get it. It's cleaned out. Told them that a week ago. And if they want to sit on it and procrastinate, and that thing ends up getting towed, that's on them, not me. Let's see, what do we all have? Skeletor in April. I have to run night all. Alright, Skeletor. Wait, Skull. Okay, we found out about. Oh! April. Well, you got a freaking memory of an elephant. I forgot about that whole subway thing. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. So right now, we're putting the stand together for the second monitor. And we're going to put it right behind my head there. On the left. We'll see how it looks. I'm interested to see how curved monitors. Now the last 3 screens setup that I had, they were just 3 TV screens. That's what April's got out there now. So they're just flat panel LCD screens. These ones here are the ultra wide curved ones, and I wanted to see how this is going to come together on curved screens. So that one is for that. Where is this one? I should have probably just left these together like so. This one goes to that one. We need to move Mr. Laptop. That'll work. Move this stuff over here for now. That arm we don't need to worry about. Alright, I think we're ready for the screen. So here's numeral 2. So now I'm going to do this sideways so I can see what I'm doing. This in like so. Got to kind of push it in all the way. And then there's one screw that goes into there. Okay. Then it tilts. Very, very good. Alright, let's see what she looks like. So now, gotta make sure that they're tilted the same way, so they're nice and level on both sides. Well, that's two. And now the third one will be on this side. I kind of like the way that it's angled. I mean, sitting here, you know, in the middle of this screen, they're kind of lower than what I wanted them to be. I'd like to get them a little bit higher. Because by all rights, the way that it's supposed to be, your eyes are supposed to be in the middle of the screen. I'm a little bit higher than that. My eyes are right about at the top of the screen, but I think that that might be okay because I'm going to put the top monitor up there. But as far as playing goes, I mean, these do tilt up. This is going to be a hell of a setup. This is the power cord for this one. These, each of the screens came with the DisplayPort to DisplayPort, which is perfect, because that's exactly what I needed. They come, what are they, by 6 foot? Yeah. They say tip to tip is about your length, and I'm 5'9", so yeah, 6 foot cords. Perfect. So now, I got to this point, I have to get the third one on. Last year I did a successful flight from Tokyo to JFK. Now, did you do that with the Microsoft Flight Simulator, like FSX, or did you do that with X-Plane? All right, Skeletor, have a good night, buddy. We will see you next time. So that's I kind of like this screen. We got one more to go. I've got to get the third one up. I can't just stop at 2. FSX? Alright. Yeah, I was real big into FSX a few years back. And, you know, I bought so much outside stuff for that game. I had the whole Orbix and all the PMDG planes. And, I mean, I spent a lot of money on that simulator. And I got it looking real good. And then I became a truck driver. And I had no time for playing games. I mean, everybody knows being a truck driver, it takes up all your time. So technically, if I go back onto these websites, if I downloaded FSX, and the thing is when I had FSX, I didn't have the Steam edition. I actually had the discs, which I no longer have. So I'd have to reorder the game itself. But I can go on the websites and go back and get all the aftermarket planes that I had. But now that 2020 came out, I've kind of got to go with that, because that is a whole different world playing that game. Just the graphics alone. And the way I've got it set right now for Flight Simulator 2020 is I put all the settings on ultra high, because I wanted to really test out this machine. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, you know, other people playing the game, and they've got a lot of stutter in their systems, and they're running off of what I would call mid-grade systems, kind of like, you know, like the system that April's got. She's got a great system. It's a mid-grade system, and it'll pretty much run any game on high settings. But, you know, the Flight Simulator that just came out, it's so demanding, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of updates to that game, but it's so demanding that even on a mid-grade system, it'll bring that computer to its knees. So when, you know, when the new Flight Simulator came out, and I realized how demanding it was, I knew that I was going to need a high-end computer in order to run it. And a funny story with that, I was looking online and I found a high-end system, and the guy wanted $2,000 for it, and I was all for it. I'm like, the specs of this computer, it's exactly like this one, and the specs on it, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm the type, you know, when I get my mind set on something, I'm going in head first. It is what it is. Money is made to be spent. You only live once, and you know when. But anyways, I called a buddy of mine. He owns a computer store, and it's the same place that we got April's computer at. So I called him up and I says, "Hey, I found this computer online. These are the specs." And the first words out of his mouth were, "I could do the same exact computer for $500 less." So, needless to say, that's the route I went, and which gave me the opportunity to give April those 3 monitors, and me the opportunity to get the new monitor set up. And I wanted, you know, April and I had discussed this, that this is something that we were going to do. She wanted to, you know, get her own YouTube channel going and all that. So I wanted to make sure that she had a decent setup for, you know, if she's going to, you know, go in on this, she's going to start her own YouTube channel. I wanted to make sure that she had a proper setup. I didn't want her to have to start with the bare bones. You know, I mean, she's right there with me on this. So, if you guys, oh yeah, that's a good shot. So you guys can see the 3 screens. The edge of it is over here. You guys can't even see that. And here it just pans across. So now, all right, I got to do that I got to get one of those off of hers. So what do you think? Have a good night, Al and April. All right, Kenworth Rider. we'll see you next time. So for those of you that are still left, how'd she look? I want to see it on. Like, give it time, huh? There's a lot of wiring that's going to be involved. I got to run the DisplayPort cords to the computer. I got to set up the keyboards and the mouse and all that stuff. I got to run the power cords to these. I got to run the lights. There's a lot that still has to be done before these even get turned on. These may not even get turned on until tomorrow. We'll see. But this is pretty sick. And you know, there's a whole lot of difference from this to the setup that I had before. One, the other setup, they were TV screens. TV screens run a digital picture, run the pixels much different than an actual computer screen. So what the graphics card is putting out, TV screens will take that image a little bit differently than what actual computer monitors do. The other thing is that the TV screens were 60 hertz. These are 85 hertz. And then you're also going super wide. So this is going to be much different, and I am excited to get these turned on and to see what the image is going to be like. So now again, like I just said to April, you know, I've got a lot of work to do before these things even get powered up. Running wires to the computer, setting up other stuff for it before this even gets turned on. But what I will do is tonight what I'll do is run the wires. I'll get everything plugged in. Tomorrow, we'll turn this on together. April will be here with me, and I'll start a stream, and we're going to get these things fired up for the first time live on YouTube. And we'll go through the computer, we'll go through all the settings, we'll get these set up the way that they should be, and we'll see what the image is like. We'll do it together. So I'm going to kill tonight's video here. Like I said, the rest of my night is just going to be running wires, setting up the lights, setting other stuff up, you know, the keyboard and the mouse, and I may get into the steering wheel and pedals and the flight gear. I may get into that as well. Then we got the webcams. I got the microphone that needs to be set up. So there's a whole lot of work that still needs to be done. I'm going to do most of that tonight. Tomorrow we'll fire these all up together for the first time. We'll see how it goes. I appreciate everybody stopping in tonight. I appreciate everybody that got into the super chats to support me and the channel. And let me finish off some of these comments. It looks awesome. I like it. I'm jealous. Good deal. I'm glad you guys like it. You know, hard work pays off. And, you know, if this is something that I'm going to do, I want this to be the best, not only for me, but for you guys. You know, you guys have been with me since day one, and we're going to make this change together. And, you know, we're all in this together. We're all going to have fun with it. I'm excited to be able to now start streaming on a daily basis. So, you know, get more of a consistency to the channel. And we're going to do something that people enjoy. So we'll get these things fired up tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then.